Hello, and welcome to the Contraband, where 6 Shakespeare actors play blades in the dark. I'm Ted Bushman. Whoa! Oh my God! Whoa!
Sorry, I just was overcome.
Whoa! We're here. Welcome, everybody. Wow, so happy to be here. I am Ted Bushman. I'm the game master of this game. My pronouns are he, him, his. Joining me on this tale of thieves and thunderclaps, miscreants and monsters, revenge and redemption are Jamie Hansen, Ben Isaacs, Kristin Perkins, Graham Ward, and Carson Wright.
Woo!
Hello, all. Before we do our recap, before we do our introductions, I'm going to do a little recap. Our crew of smugglers has this entire season been in a close partnership with a high-class criminal organization called the Collective. The partnership has been lucrative, but Bram and Aldo have learned of a group of human traffickers possibly hidden in their ranks. And in the last couple scores, the crew has been in this horrifying Dark Plane-esque nightmare of the Lost District, fighting demon dogs and a giant clam goddess and, normal stuff. While accompanied by a 7-fingered, 3-nostriled dude named Bardia, who melted in order to get them out of there at the last minute. It was great and really normal and fun.
The most escalated consequence or harm that anyone's experienced yet. A successful roll.
No question. Yeah, absolutely wild.
I love that Graham's like, yes, a 6. I melt into a puddle, right?
I call it dissolve, right? So during this excursion, the crew performed this ritual called the Gate and the Key, which gave them access to the White Gate, a sort of sacred, profane ghost experience that Aldo had long been seeking, and that the girl had also been seeking in order to find answers to some major questions. Aldo was able to access the past and find his niece, Danya. He was actually also able to step into the past and change it in order to save her ghost from being consumed by spirit wardens. And the girl was able to, during that ritual, find history about herself and even learn her given name, which is Kayafel. The crew has now gotten back into the real world, back to Duskfall, where Bram was able to reconnect with the group, connected with Hix, and they were approached by members of the inspectors, which we're going to see a little bit more of later in this session. But so I wanted to say good evening, friends. Tell us who you are and how your characters are feeling since this experience we just had in the Lost District.
Hello, I assume we're going the normal order?
Yeah, we're going the normal order.
Jamie Hansen is my name. Varric Lomond is my character. Pronouns are he, him for both of them. Varric, he's feeling a little conflicted after the events of the Lost District. He caught a glimpse of what Aldo's been feeling, and so he's kind of got a sense of something not right going on. But it's just kids getting kidnapped, murdered.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
I'll have a heart attack.
So moving on to Ben Isaacs.
Hello, my name is Ben Isaacs. I use he, they pronouns. I'm playing Hix Templeton, the spider. And after the Lost District, Hix is just feeling sort of like very detached, somewhat numb, and just like cold, kind of unenthusiastic, but continuing to go through the motions of everyday life. It was, it was pretty fucked up in there.
Yeah, absolutely wild. Yes.
Hi, my name is Kristin Perkins. I use she, her pronouns. I play the girl who also uses she, her pronouns, and now has a name. We'll keep with the girl for now. And she is feeling traumatized, which I'm very excited about. And in terms of game mechanics, she has been traumatized. And I think what I told my sweet roommate who sometimes watches is she always thought the pain of not knowing was going to be worse than the pain of knowing. And after seeing herself as an abused child, she's no longer sure that was true. So, she's chilling, she's traumatized. It's all good.
Ooh, man. That's heavy. All right.
Well, Bram Borden for the first time is not as heavy as whoever else is speaking. I'm Graham Ward, he, him. Bram Borden is my character. He's the cutter, the fighter, always has been there to kill and fight on behalf of the crew and their business. But recently he was taken after a reckless move to uncover the identity of the kind of villain amongst the collective, who he's been tracking. He was taken and has a sense that they are onto us. And now he is feeling a great sense of urgency to move against the collective before our window closes. And I guess at the end of last session was talking with Hix about plans to, really start making moves against our former employers. Current employers?
They're
still our employers.
Yeah. Sorry, Varric. Yeah.
Ooh. And Carson.
Yes, I am Carson, Wright. My pronouns are he, him, and I play Aldo Basran, also he, him. And Aldo is feeling a mixture of feelings. I think there's a new kind of sense of a different kind of emptiness, not receiving as obvious and clean as an answer to all of his questions as he would have liked, and is also feeling a little unsure about his choice to interfere. Aside from that, really is interested in figuring out what the hell Bram was doing hanging out with our sworn enemy. Yeah, Casimir. So yeah. I think there's kind of a lot of processing and sort of a little bit of unsatisfied and sort of lost.
Ooh, great. Well, now that we've done our mini therapy session, let's jump in and start experiencing our traumas live and on camera. So, this show is brought to you by Ghostlight RPGs, an underfunded government body bringing the spirit of live theater to tabletop role-playing games. If our strivings for justice please you, we invite you to follow, subscribe, and take a look at the Ghostlight RPGs Patreon. We have an announcement that you should just be aware of regarding Ghostlight in general, which is related to our other show, Animon Stories. Graham, would you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so for those who follow our other shows, you know that on Fridays we've been streaming a system called Animon Story, which is sort of like a Pokemon, Digimon inspired, like teens and their monster pals game, which has been really fun, and it is coming to a conclusion this week. Though they'll be streaming on Thursday, so do not miss the finale. You'll be able to watch the video on demand afterwards if you somehow show up Friday and find that the stream isn't live. But just so everyone knows, it will be live Thursday, 7:30 Central in the evening, and I'm really looking forward to seeing that one come to a close. It's been a lot of fun.
Very exciting. So for our show, we have a content warning. The Contraband is a crime drama set in a dark and unpleasant city. Episodes will almost certainly contain strong language, brutal violence, and sex. They may occasionally also include human trafficking and danger to children, though we will avoid violence towards children. Please be advised. So, lay down your city map, dip your quill in the inkwell, and descend with us into the Contraband. So, all of our members of the crew are aware as a cruel and howling blizzard arrives in Duskfall from off of the Void Sea, straddling the entire city. Stepping out of your house is to become victim to an assault of daggers of ice borne on heavy winds. Many of the small canals freeze over completely and are abandoned until the weather passes, but it continues to last for days. Spending too much time outside while the blizzard is going on will incur harm. How do each of your characters manage the ruthless cold? And what do your characters' physical? We talked a little bit about just now about their emotional responses to what's happened over the last in their experiences. What are their physical responses? What are their? How do their tending to their injuries look like, etc.?
I think that Hix just stays inside and is just sort of like just home for a couple of days without going outside. You know that feeling when you just don't go outside for a day and it's awesome because you're because you're resting. That's basically
Yes.
what Hix is doing, just like drinking tea, cooking food, trying to just take care, just ride this shit out because it's don't want to go out in that. My coat got eaten by the demon dog. My good coat. Like I just have like this ugly one. I don't even really think reflects me anymore. So I don't want to wear that out unless I have to. So I don't know.
Honestly, same for Bram, except instead of being at home, he's at the bar. So he's just been on like a, 36-hour pub crawl, basically. Like anywhere he could stay out late and then move along to the next one that's opening at dawn. Staying inside, doesn't have many places to go. But that'll be tied into some of my attempts at recovering stress by indulging my vice of drinking, fighting, and losing control to the point of collapse.
Ooh, very interesting. So these the Orca's tooth is now hospitable to Bram again. They finished the repairs. Is he spending any time there at all, or is he not really present?
I think he'll stay away for a bit.
Sure.
But then, maybe like at the end of this 2 or 3 days of being out and about, drinking heavily, stewing on the problems, and recovering some of his stress, then he'll show back up, kind of ready for business.
Cool. Yeah. How's everybody else doing?
This is Fleur Duval, who is the persona of the girl and the young proprietress of the Yellow Parrot. Is trying to take advantage. She's disappointed that more customers are not coming into her establishment. She's dressed in her finest, dresses and shawls, fur maybe, and has made a sign that says warm soup available, has talked to Finette about making sure that that's all set and ready to go, and in general seems to be really, really involved in her work there at the Yellow Parrot, and trying to draw customers in despite the cold.
Varric would probably be holed up in the apartment in Charter Hall, kind of leg propped up on another chair, kind of several pillows underneath it. If Oyun is home, kind of complaining to her loudly about what the rest of the crew kind of made him do.
I wonder I think there might be a scene here. I think there might be a moment, like maybe the first day that the blizzard really starts to set in, and you've maybe had some sailors coming in off the sea who've said that there's something big coming, and so there's a bit of a sense of forecast for the city. And I think Varric returns home. I don't know if he's coming from the lab and if Morgan was there, or if he's coming from the corner cafe talking to our boy Robert Boom, or what. But I think the first thing that might greet him in the apartment is a little vase with a very small, modest-looking bouquet in it. And then the second thing that greets you would be the voice. Varric, is that you?
Oyun. Hi.
She comes out from behind a doorway. She's in a bathrobe. She's got no makeup. Her hair's down. She's sporting a pair of glasses that you bought for her when you realized that she was farsighted and was having trouble reading because of that. And she says, "Varric, it's been so long." She rushes to embrace you and kiss you. How do you respond to this?
It's kind of split second of a hesitation as she embraces, and then he sort of reciprocates and goes in, dips her a little. It's like, I've missed you.
I miss you too. It's you've been very busy, I think, and as have I. I know it's been terrible. But how are you? How is the work?
We went outside the lightning walls again. Some fool's errand for Aldo and for Bella, just searching for answers to questions they don't need to find the answers to.
I thought this was comfortable work with the White Stag and the others. I thought it was.
That's the plan. That was the plan. That was what I thought that we were doing now. But apparently we're gallivanting off into the unknown, making deals with clam monsters and searching through ghostly white gates and attacking spirit wardens. I don't know. I don't know. It's I don't know. I don't know what we're doing anymore. They had lost the plot.
She sort of holds your face for a second, looks into your eyes as if searching for something, and says, "Do you remember when you had the sea in your eyes? Has that happened to you again at all?"
Kind of. It felt similar. There was this call, like the ocean, but it wasn't quite the same as last time. It didn't feel like it was directed at me. It was I thought he was a man. I think it might have been a corpse of some kind. He melted. Anyway, it seemed to be calling to him.
Right.
But I'm alright. I did. He's going to sort of pull up the leg of his trousers and say, "I did get a bit of a nasty bite from something." Yes. No. Yeah. It's.
This is a strange smell.
Yeah, I think it might need looking at. I was kind of hoping it would just get better, but the smell is not indicating that.
Yes. She sort of like gets a cloth and kind of dabs at it, but it clearly doesn't seem to know much of what to do with it. But she makes you some tea, and eventually she says, I received a letter from one of your colleagues."
Did?
Yes, a man named Morgan.
Oh.
It was at the house. It's for you. I wasn't sure who it was from, and so I opened it.
Right. Yes. No. Morgan's taking over some of Aldo's operations, since he doesn't seem to want to be in the money-making business anymore. I brought in someone to help out with that.
I see.
You didn't. How much did you chat?
Oh no! I just got the letter, and they said just that they were enthusiastic about the work and wanted you to. This was a few days ago. I imagine you've already been to the laboratory since, but they were enthusiastic about speaking with you about it.
Yes. I just stopped by there once we came back. Thank you for giving this to me.
Yeah, of course. I'm sorry about the last few months.
No, it's.
I know that I've been busy, and I know that I haven't understood much of what you are doing.
You have made own choices for what you want to do. Tell you not to. So it's we don't need to talk about any of it.
Well, that's part of the problem. Because, Varric, you see, you say you can't tell me to change it, but I might if I felt that there was some place that you would, if there was another room for me to step into, I might do it, but I don't feel that there is a place for me in your world.
What am I supposed
that you are building.
What am I supposed to do with you in the world right now? Take you into the Lost District with us? I almost got eaten by a house. I can't take you along on things like this.
That's not what I mean.
Do you know how to brew edge? Can you fight in boxing matches? No, this isn't your world. I'm trying to help you get to a better life. You just have to let me do that for you.
I just hope that when we get to this better life, there is somewhere in it for me.
Thank you for the flowers. Sort of limp over into the bathroom and close the door.
Yeah, their last words is, "It was Morgan who sent them."
No answer. Just okay.
All right.
Nice to see you again.
Yeah, welcome Ayun to the season.
Yep. Treating her well. Good.
So,
Good. I feel great.
So, here's my question: when do Aldo and Bram next see each other? Under what circumstances?
That is a good question.
Very good question. A very good question. Are you looking for Aldo? I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, not right away. Maybe while the blizzard's going on, Bram keeps thinking of it, looking out the window with concern, and then kind of, it's at the right time. And just keeps drinking. Wait till it passes over.
I think it's probably similarly that Aldo is, after walking away with Varric, hasn't been around much for anyone. I think at one point he sneaks back into his lab to grab some stuff and probably take it back to Bardia's area where he's decided he's gonna be for a minute. And probably been there for a bit. Hopefully Morgan's not there. You can decide, but I just wanted to get in and out.
Yeah, I think you
Great.
make it in and out.
Perfect. Yeah. But I don't know. It's probably at some point.
Would it maybe be after the next time that Bram indulges his vice? Maybe?
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know.
I think so.
What is
yeah.
that? Yo, what does your indulge vice look like?
He's done this like 3-day, almost like a bender, just drinking, sobering up enough to like move on to the next place, staying as long as people will let him in any given establishment, slowly losing more and more control. And then let's say he finally gets in a fight with someone. He's gotten to the point where his rage is starting to bubble over. He's furious with himself. I think anyone from the crew who might happen to see this, which they probably don't, but if they did, would realize that Bram is he's like venting his own self-hatred here, and he just picks a fight with, maybe there's like some kind of pompous looking stand-in maybe for
is
the
there maybe
collective's persona.
Is there maybe someone who looks like Casimir?
There we go. Yeah.
Behaves a little bit like it.
And he just comes up to the table drunkenly, like looking down at the person, not saying anything, and then splashes his fingers into their, like, you know, beer stein or whatever, and like splashes it up into their face.
Yeah, the man gets this. So he's talking to a friend, maybe a woman, and splashes him, and he looks up at you, slides the drink towards you, and says, "Go ahead, you can just pay for it."
Oh yeah. Oh, I don't think I'm going to be paying for it, buddy.
You surely don't look like you can.
No. Well, better not waste it then.
And I'll tip it onto his lap and then shove him backwards and, like knock him down immediately, like take the chair, break it on the stone floor, and just like take one of the legs and jam it into his sternum.
Oof. Yeah. Yeah, let's make a roll. This is unrelated to the indulge, just on how effectively you're able to do it with him attempting to resist you.
Okay.
Goodness.
A skirmish roll is a 5.
Yeah. So you shove him back, you splash him. He totally shocked, but it like manages to sort of kick out of the way. You slam you slam this thing down, and he's able to get back up in time. That you essentially just like jam this thing at him and slam him back against the wall. Though he manages to throw the mug that he picked up, the now empty mug, straight at your temple and just strikes you in the head. And
I won't like prolong the fight. I'll just sort of like put a very large hand on his chest again, like push him against the wall, look at him in the eye as if he somehow he's he's a stand-in for Casimir, and all of this rage at my inability to act on the knowledge now that we've had for months. And I'll just kind of crumple and stumble to the door, fall backwards out the door onto the street, and with my head kind of swimming a little bit from being hit, like stumble into an alley and there fall asleep for a little while. And then after, like a couple hours of sleep, stumble back toward what do we think? Orca's Tooth, maybe? Yeah, stumble back to the Orca's Tooth.
Yeah, I think just a little detail. You probably stumble out into the alleyway, and within about 5 minutes of sort of heading down the alleyway, you are found by a bunch of people from this same bar, not including the guy, but some other people who saw it happen, who drag you back inside because the biting wind is so cold that you would have died by being out here by sleeping here for a couple of hours. That's how bad the blizzard is outside. So they bring you inside and sort of throw you in a broom closet where you wake up several hours later.
Great.
And one guy like maybe gives you like a little plate of like badly cooked beans, and like offers you a big overcoat that someone had left behind to head back home, if you want it.
Yeah, I'll accept all of that without a word.
Yeah.
Eat and
and it's just this like larger man, you think might have sort of a social challenge, but works with his what looks like his father, who runs the barn. He just says, I hope you have a place to go, so I hope you stay safe.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, all right. And he lets you head out into the blizzard, so you head back and make your...
I'd like to say that's the first time Bram has slept in a broom closet, but that's probably not true.
I think you get back there, and who knows how long it's been, but Aldo shows up to kind of check out the delivery of the oil, and kind of assess and maybe grab some things that have been left as he's kind of patching up a shop over at Bardia's place far away, and perhaps runs into Bram I don't know, trying to get down below decks or whatever.
Great.
Would you be down in there?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
6. What a good recovery.
I rolled a 6 on my stress recovery.
We're just jumping so fast through the narrative we forget them again.
Yeah, I know, right? This is a game we're playing. Okay, so Bram is actually looking okay.
Yeah, great.
And I'll see Aldo and say,
Good. Need a fucking doctor.
Yes. I'm sure you do. Excuse me. And he's gonna just push right by.
Wait.
Like shoulder into you if he can pass by you.
Aldo, wait.
What?
It's not just that. We need to talk. Things are happening. Things are moving.
Oh, you've just become aware of this, yes?
No, but we've got a very narrow window. I was picked up by Casimir. He kept me in his apartment for 2 days.
Yes. Did you enjoy your time there? Seems like you're okay.
I learned a little bit. I learned something that might be able to help us.
I certainly hope so. Fuck, Bram. I saw you in there. You punched me.
What? What are you talking about?
I was in there with Casimir. I don't know how. We went to the White Gate, and you were sleeping somewhere off in the who knows where, chumming it up with Casimir.
You what?
Yes, we went.
Bram's like very visibly taken aback by this.
Are you surprised?
Now, I'm not surprised because you're the most reckless fucking fool I've ever met. But leave that aside. What did you learn?
I learned to... Well, frankly, I learned that it wasn't them who took Danya.
Shit.
And, well, I may have, I may have intervened, well, as you know, I made my way to where Casimir was. She was, I saw her. It was a vision, different than what we have done before. I was there, and she had a letter signed by Casimir, but it wasn't them.
You were there before. Back when it happened.
Yes, I watched it, and I know who did it, and well, they're already dead, so that takes care of that, I guess. But I decided to try to take things into my own hands with Casimir, and of course, you intervened, protected your friend, no?
You say you were there, invisible or something.
I don't know what I looked like, but I grabbed him by the throat. And I could feel him. And then you punched me.
That wasn't you, that was a ghost.
It was me. I don't know what to tell you. Bram, you better have some good information coming out of this, because honestly, you are holding us back.
I've seen the fox. I'll know his face. And that's why Casimir took me. He questioned me. He knows we're making moves. He knows, probably soon, that we know everything. But now is the time that we can find this bastard. And if it's true that Casimir was involved, we make a move on them both. We take them out. If we don't move fast, the collective will move first. And then we're fucked up, River.
You're right. Bram, I don't. I brought Hix in. On this, I told him everything.
Good.
And you can see there's like a relaxation in like Aldo's posture. Because we need help from all of them.
I think you're right. We've got to get everybody on board.
Bram, we take out the fox and we take out Casimir. And then what? What fills this hole? It's bigger, this city, and these two. It could be bigger than these two within the collective.
Maybe. But we're just two people. We've got to do what we can do. And if that means killing some people, even if it leaves a void, we kill them. They've got to be stopped. And you're talking to a man who voted for Robert Boom, so I'm not, frankly, very interested in what comes after. Now's the time. And if it's war, then it's fucking war.
Bram, I am surprised, to be honest, that you haven't threatened to hit me yet.
And I will, I'll move in and grab you by both shoulders and say,
Why would I hit you when you're the only one who's made a bloody bit of sense for the last 6 months? You were right, Aldo. You were right the whole time. And I was wrong. I've been a right shit.
You're fucking right, you have been.
But, I mean, always am. You just, I don't know. I think for a while I thought we could make it work. We could make the money. We could keep them happy. Take the right steps. I don't know. Something can be changed. Something snapped.
If we're still in close enough contact, I want you to see something, and I'm gonna jab you with a syringe.
You fucking tit!
Come with me, please. Please trust me. And you're gonna start feeling blood needle and quicksilver and some feelings inside of you. And Ted, I want to indulge in Vice one more time.
Yeah,
and weird.
sure.
And so I'd love to go out on the top decks, and the hope is to call, not too close, but to try to identify and call Danya's ghost. Just close enough. So I want to take him up and show him this. I will also.
Am I helping?
You're like, no, not yet.
Why'd you fucking stick me?
Well, it will help with the fear.
Son of a bitch.
Don't know what I
So
kind
you get
of
up.
come to like the feeling of it. He says, sort of embarrassed. Okay, so up, cold, freezing.
Yeah, up, cold, freezing. There's this big, powerful wind. You're out on the river, and like within like 60 feet, you can't see anything for the blizzard. There's maybe like a bit of metal shielding on the hatch that gets you out that might provide a tiny bit of shelter, but you're both probably just in these huge coats, and you're calling out. So let's make an attune. You've got this. It looks like Okay, I've actually got a note here on the white fire harm.
Yeah, I've
which
got
is
white
that
fire.
wreck and migraine, right?
I got migraine, and I've got something called unmoored.
Okay. Oh, unmoored. Yeah.
I've got
nice.
2 white fires. Not great. And Bram, you've noticed there's like bluish scabbing up on visible part, anything that's from out of my coat.
Great. So it looks like your attune with unmoored might be reduced in effect just a little bit. Let's try to attune and see if you can find contact with.
Sure.
With Danya.
All right, a 4.
Okay.
And yeah, I'll let you decide.
Yeah. So I think you're essentially trying to feel across the entire city for a single ghost.
Trying.
And yeah, and what you're able to find, you're sort of looking for this feeling of what you connected with in the White Gate, and you sense a few sort of frightened seeming ghosts that might have been female when they were alive, might have been young, but you're not immediately, and a couple of them sort of start coming towards you, and Bram, you can feel them coming, 200 feet away at this point, sort of floating around, one of them up above, a couple like in the water down below. But as of yet, no sign of Danya.
That's okay. Some time will pass, probably silently, as like all those eyes are closed. And
I think Bram will realize what you're doing, and I'll just kind of draw in a bit closer, grab you around the shoulders, and I will aid you if we do another roll.
Can I just add that 1 aid and see if it's really good? Just for funsies?
Sure.
I mean, I'm not gonna do a whole roll, but can I just roll this one dice?
Sure. Yes. Roll it. Roll the die.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Nah, you made it worse, dude. And so I mean, it's just a 1, and you can decide if this is bad. But I mostly just, I think realizing, not like sense. Can I sense anything like it? I mean, even if it's out there, if I can't call to it, but am I finding it even in the smallest twinge? Just curious.
Yeah, I think yes. I think that the partial success here would be you have a sense of a device you could make that could help you attune to this, like the specific ghost frequency that you think might find her.
Sure. As some time goes by, Aldo just starts talking, eyes closed, hasn't said anything. I told you I intervened. After I saw her die, I followed her ghost around Duskfall, looking for me, waiting for me to arrive. When she was picked up and destroyed by the spirit wardens. I don't know what I was thinking. I intervened and I pulled her out. And the ghost. And I've been looking for her. I don't know why. Doomed her again to live whatever life it is. And I wanted you to see her. I'm sorry, Bram, it's
pull you in and bring your forehead to mine and just say,
Mate, she's gone. Whatever she is now, it's not her. It's time to let go.
We have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, we gotta kill some people.
You before you all are able to, but as this whole conversation is happening, a few of these ghosts of these young women are sort of floating around you in the air, and you just hear these little cries of pain, of loss, of confusion, of fear, and you are reminded of the nature of the enterprise that you were taking up together.
What a great way to indulge my vice.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, what a fun time. Indulge, roll it. How'd you do?
A 6, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think narratively,
That's
it's
the
like,
power of friendship.
it's coming around, yeah, for some closures. But I appreciate your help, Bram.
Now, give me something for this fucking headache.
And we'll get down into the cold and back to the old ways. Aldo's
can I do a
Yeah.
recovery action?
Yeah.
He flicks
Aldo
your
rolls it. He
forehead.
rolls the tinker.
Yeah, I do. I roll.
Aldo rolls the tinker.
I'm a tinker
No,
on
because-
you.
With white fire, your effect is reduced by 1.
You're gonna love it.
So if you roll a
fellas.
6, it only counts as 2. If you roll, etc.
Okay, it's a 5.
Okay, that means you get 1 tick.
Ah,
Because it normally would be 2 ticks with a 4/5, but it's reduced to a 1/3/3. Yeah, I think a physician better heal himself before this it's going too far.
I
mean,
just have a level
yeah.
1 migraine. Is that correct? By what you've got?
Yeah, that's
Ted?
correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh,
Must be
Yeah.
nice.
yeah. So, you sort of tend to each other down in the bottom of the Orca's tooth here, or Aldo tends to Bram, this is Jean Pierre at the wheel in the front room. So let's actually take a pause for a second here. We're having a tech issue. Kristin's screen has been black in her world for the last 25 minutes, or so. So she's only been getting the audio play version of this thing. So I think we'll take a little bit of an early break. We'll take 5 minutes or so, address this issue, and then come back and continue our session.
Sounds good.
Excellent.
Cool.
See you soon.
Thank you all. See you very soon. Goodbye. And we are back with The Contraband, where 6 Shakespeare actors play Blades in the Dark. When last we met 5 minutes ago, Bram and Aldo had finally gotten their shit together and agreed about something after 8 episodes of this season. So I'm curious, when does the next meet with Hix happen? But with Bram and Aldo and Hix? That's a question, but also just in general, curious what downtime actions people are wanting to do. I don't want to jump on any of that. So, any thoughts?
Can I just go right on ahead here and do some healing rolls on myself?
Yeah, do them. Yes.
Yeah, so I've got 2 level 2 harms and 2 level 1 harms.
Oh my gosh.
Bram, could you? I literally don't want to make this a big scene unless we really need to. Would there be a situation by which my healing is bad and you could recommend to me the services of one Wilhelmina Grackle?
Oh, I don't think I can do that.
Okay, that's fine.
No, only because she like chewed the shit out of me.
Oh, that's right.
Last time when I went to her and made it very I basically extorted her into doing like surgery on me.
That's right. Okay, fine.
Rich Seaman was burned.
Well, in 3 episodes when I've healed myself, no. Just kidding. So
I'm trying to think if there's any physicians you know, Aldo. Is there anyone you could?
I think I'm too damn stubborn, honestly.
Well, then you have only yourself to blame.
Okay. But it is a 6.
Okay.
For 1 roll.
That's great.
How many does that get me?
That's 2 ticks because it's reduced.
This is the reduced effect.
This is evil. Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's all right. I'm going to go ahead and
consistent with what I've declared.
It's okay. It's okay. I paid the price of the White Gate. Yeah, and so I'm going to roll another one. Okay, another 6.
Okay, great. So that's a full clock filled, right?
So does that drop 1 whole tier down?
So all of your level 1, both of your level 1s are gone, and both of your level 2s are now level 1s.
All right, so that's White, Fire, and Unmoored.
Okay.
So, okay.
Great. Yeah.
That'll be great. And I think, just by way of what that is, I think he's just slathering and touching and trying to rest, and he's been doing that probably before you, Bram, as well, and after a little bit. He's just
Bram will see you slathering and touching, and will be like, "Oh, I'm gonna get out of here."
It's like just like crusty.
Small anecdote. Really I had an actual roommate who was like, "Hey, just so you know, I've got some skin issues, and I would appreciate it if you would rub this on my back for the time that we live together." And I was like, "I've known you a day. Like, I'm not ready for this."
Motherfucker, call your mom.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
God, don't say that. Hello.
We got close later, though.
Yeah.
Well, probably through
the
act of slathering.
Yeah.
Crazy. Jeez.
Gosh, wow.
Oh
incredible. Yeah, so Aldo, you start feeling a little better. Are you doing this all at the Orcus Tooth, or are you back at
I think it's a little bit here, a little bit there.
It's over the next couple of days.
Yeah, over the next couple of days, and that'll be 2 downtime actions, and I will pay money for more later, probably.
Great.
Okay.
Yeah. Who's next?
Great. I think. Okay, so is his healing better now? Can I go see him now and not be reduced?
His healing is all better.
Woo, okay, yeah. I mean, I've been suffering my when you're in your 30s, sometimes your back goes out. This is, I guess, what happened to me when the house fell on me, when the clam goddess.
I think you got hit with a falling timber from a what is it?
When you're in your 30s and you get hit with a fallen timber.
You got clam chowder.
Great. So I'll limp to Aldo wearing this like orange coat or something. I guess I'll go to the lab and see if Aldo's at the lab.
I don't think I've
Who's at the lab? Maybe roll fortune and see who's at the lab. I'd take a scene with Varric.
And
Morgan.
Yeah, let's roll a d6.
I'd take a scene with Varric. I gotta fix some seating arrangements.
You
Sorry,
rolled a
anybody who's
6,
watching.
you rolled a 6, so I think Aldo happens to be there.
Great.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be something like this. Oh, Hix, it's good to see you. I don't. Perhaps we should take this somewhere else.
Whoa, y'all are making drugs in here. I'm looking around at just this scaled up operation.
Yeah, it's like
Woo-wee.
chugging actively. Like even though Morgan isn't here, there's stuff going. It's like burbling. And yeah.
It's not mine. It's that fucking Morgan.
What?
Yes. Have you? I guess I really don't want to be here when they come back. He's like holding a box of his things, some Sparkcraft stuff and whatever else. Like,
What's up? Are you moving out?
it is. Look, it is a little complicated. Varric has got his ideas on some great edge empire, and I wasn't making it fast enough for him, and he just found somebody else who would do it. And you know what? Fine, do it. I don't care.
In your lab? So you are moving out of your lab so that Varric can have his friend work in your lab.
Yes, to make a shitty
Is that what you're
edge.
saying?
Yeah, he's like picked up a vial of some of the completed stuff. He's like, oh, shit. Looking at the viscosity.
Hold on.
Do you, what?
Why are you doing that? Why are you letting him do that?
Well,
Never
It
mind.
seemed-
I don't really want to talk about it. I came here because I'm wondering if you can help me out. Maybe you can just think about that.
yes.
I don't have the time to get into everybody's business about every single thing.
I mean, this used to
can you
be
help
our
me?
business, but yeah, I can help you. Fine, come in here, and it brings you into one of the side rooms. What is it? What is?
I think I'll like pull up my pant leg and take off my boot and just like show
What
him this
is-
sort of like
Ugh.
foul, like decaying, putrid, like
Mm.
demon bite or some wound of some kind. And I'm like,
Yeah.
got this in the Lost District. I don't know if
And-
you could help me.
I got to say, I have smelt a lot of dead things in people. This is disgusting. And he's like literally poking at
is
it though.
Yeah, is it disgusting to you?
Is it tender? Is it tender?
Yes, it's tender. It hurts. It hurts when you poke it.
You know what, Hix? I have missed this. And he just like takes a sample of it and like puts it onto some stuff, you know, like in a little
Two little glass plates,
tubes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
You
then he's
saved
just
that for later.
over there like looking at it under like a little microscope. Oh my god, what is it? Oh, sorry. Yes, and he's gonna get his med kit out and supplies, and he'll wash it out and try to. It's gonna hurt though. Do you want something for the pain or just?
I don't know. It's fine. Just give it to me. Just do it.
Okay, 5.
Great.
Right. 2 ticks?
Yeah. Pour some alcohol in it. Yeah. 2 ticks. Yeah. It's like,
Great.
oh, the sting is intense.
That's nice.
Great.
Okay, keep the bandages clean, obviously.
Yeah.
Wraps it around. Can you walk on it okay?
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing all right. I mean, it hurts like hell now because you have been poking it and stuff, but thank you.
Okay. Well, if it's all the same to you, I would like to get out of here as soon as possible and to not run into Morgan. Though you're welcome to wait and speak with them if you wish.
I don't care. I'll just walk out with you.
You know, Hix, actually, it is good you found me. I spoke with Bram, and we we did, I think, what you might be proud of. We told each other things, and we spoke. And
Okay.
we're both very anxious to move forward this project.
Great. Me too. Here's what I have on it. Let me talk you through it. You know, just sort of like go through the details of the collective dossier with Aldo.
This is
Halfway through, Bram will like stumble in with a drink and just be listening from the door.
And Aldo's like, why is everybody still coming here? This is not where I live anymore, okay? Both of you, do not come here. Bram says nothing.
I just smile as if I'm, back at home on Christmas break.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, is there outside, like the little entrance where the rough penny comes in on is totally frozen over, like and the snow is falling, like just for a little moment it's less like intensely, the wind is less intense, and so it's just sort of falling very swiftly onto the ice. Were you thinking, Ben, of trying to finish up the collective dossier, or did you already?
I definitely do want to do that. Yeah, I want to. I mean, what I want, and I don't know if maybe this long-term project doesn't yield such fine
dramatic
fruit,
results. Yeah, sure.
I want to know the names and the addresses of each of the masks, or one of them, I'll settle for one of the masks, but not less. Yeah. Surely not.
You'll not settle for less. I see. We're in the negotiation.
I'll take less. I mean, whatever.
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll command on the DM.
I think it's great. So I think. Let's make that roll and sort of talk about narratively what that looks like, and then I can give you sort of I've tried to cobble together all the collective information we've learned so far, so that we can get a sort of a big sense of it as a group.
Yes, cobble.
Well, I was wondering if I maybe wanted to try to bargain with the inspectors about this. To see
to get more info from them,
to get what they know. I don't know how to find their names and addresses unless I just follow them, which, I mean, I'm willing to roll hunt for that, but I had wondered if perhaps Silas Ward has some reason to give me what I want.
Yeah, I think that's certainly possible. I think I can give you, if you finish up the clock, I can give you a lot of information that I think would help you know the kind of stuff you could bargain with the inspectors about, if that's all right.
I'll just roll hunt to sort of imply a general following of people around. Perhaps when I take a meeting with the White Stag, I go with her to her next place, noting where she goes. Just making a note of movements.
Yeah, totally.
That's a 4.
Okay, that's 2 ticks, and that's the end of that clock. So whether it's in the lab or whether it's at the Orca's Tooth late at night, gathered around a gas lamp, you piece together the information you know about the collective. So obviously the single 8-part clock isn't going to uncover all of the deep secrets of a very stealthy organization, but this is the information I'm going to give you. So first off, Hix, you have asked about the nature and breadth of the collective's business dealings. The collective's primary business on paper is that they are restaurateurs. They run event spaces and restaurants and serve food to people. They also own venues, the venues, clubs, and some gambling houses that are adjacent to those restaurants. All of these businesses appear to be above board generally. Their major use for your crew over the last few months has been in obtaining highly taxed or somewhat illegal goods for then resale. So they're selling goods that are not technically illegal to sell, but that are much more highly taxed, and they can sell them at lower prices because they're not paying the huge tax on them. So Al-Kabulani white rum falls into this category among other things. And some of them are a little bit more illegal and sort of have to get, people have to do the speakeasy password in order to get that particular good. They also sell some drugs at certain venues like the Heron's Roost, but those who sell them look separate enough from the actual employees of it, so they keep enough of a gulf between it that they have plausible deniability about the fact that they are selling these particular goods. These drugs are not usually obtained through you. They might be between other sellers or made in-house, which probably is the case with the Edge that is starting to be sold at collective places.
Shitty Edge.
Dull
Different.
Edge.
Different.
Yeah.
It's it also in your experience seems that the collective has a hand in influencing the powerful, and in doing favors for them, bringing the Rathsbanes into the city, shaming Ruthless Engine. They appear to have some sort of large, more ambitious things, which sometimes they brought you in for, but you get the sense that there are other things that they've been doing with their other resources and the people who work for them. It's not impossible that they have an organization doing all of these things. It's not impossible that an organization that is doing all of these things, restauranting, clubs, these favors, etc., could be making all of this money. So like, it's not unreasonable that someone looking at the books could be like, yeah, it makes sense that they have all of this money. But if they pay their employees as well as your sources have suggested, it seems almost certain that they have some other source of income. The collective's known properties are as follows. The Heron's Roost is the collective's flagship location, located on the northern edge of Night Market, Northwestern. It's built in a gaudy new style. It has an enormous restaurant and bar with gambling and performances, as well as a dog racing track outdoors adjacent. The Corner Cafe, a 200-year-old bar and restaurant serving the political elite of the city, which has now fallen into the ownership of the collective from previous owners. Prime Time, a Silk Shore dance hall and music venue that Hix has frequented quite frequently.
They got Prime Time.
Yeah, they got Prime
that's so
Time.
bad. Shoot, this is gonna be some.
I mean, it's still cool.
they kept it under
it's
the old
fun.
management. Yeah. Also, Queensdown Manor in Brightstone, once the enormous estate of a powerful noble family, the manor was renamed and renovated from absolute ruin when it was obtained by the collective some years ago. It's a sprawling, vast estate, the third largest ever built in the city of Duskfall, with enormous grounds. So they use this to like host large-scale events. And in fact, you've been hearing about a feast of the Feast of Impenetrable Darkness, the Solstice Feast, that will be happening at the Queensdown Manor in several weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's also an under construction location in Coleridge, which is as yet unnamed, but a restaurant that they're going to be building in the factory district. And you've noticed, so in terms of your hunting, you were able to find blueprints of both the cafe, the Corner Cafe, and Primetime, but the Heron's Roost and Queensdown Manor, their blueprints were not publicly available. It's not clear whether they exist in the archives at all or elsewhere. Also, you are not aware if the collective owns any other property. There are 4 known carriages, but no watercraft, for example, and no other known locations. But it's possible that the collective owns other properties. All of these properties are owned under the LLC or whatever it is. It's probably not an LLC, but the corporate banner of the collective itself.
That means it does have a like front-facing, legitimate size.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. The collective. Their name is probably not the collective. I don't know what their
That's
official.
okay, but they have a
yes.
business dealings.
Yep.
Great.
Yep. Yeah, they've got a legit.
Through a bunch of dummies, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right.
You are able to find a few names. You learn that these are all mostly first names. You learn the Hawk is one of the masks. Her name is Reza. She's Night Market new money, unmarried, and you learn that she's currently out of the country in the capital. Also, you learn that the bear's name is Leander Montblanc from the noble Montblanc family, but he is technically a bastard and has been disowned, and his family does not hold any connection with him officially.
Varric, you might like him.
What a loser.
Yeah, thank you for. Hopefully, this is the Dusty Files portion of this session. So I hope. Let me know if you have any questions.
I'm eating out of your hand, Ted. I'm eating out of your hand.
I'm like,
Keep
let
on
me add
going.
some sound
Give it to
effects
me.
of like
Yeah,
the
exactly.
ruffling of papers. Yeah.
Perfect. You also learned a name for the white stag, which is the same as the name that she gave the girl, which is Clara. You searched for information on women named Clara educated in Brightstone and Charter Hall during a range of 20 years, and you discovered only 5, and then only one of those was marked as a Severosi woman, which is the ethnic origin of the white stag. And that Severosi woman was named Clara Marigold. There's no evidence of a Marigold family in any other public records you can find. But what you do find is an address of a manor in Barrowcleft.
Oh,
That might be
boy.
that's tied to her educational records. And then you, in terms of our friend the Fox, you do not discover a name, but with Bram's help, you're able to piece together some information. There's a couple things that you noticed: a scar in the eye, a strained or very slow walk on the left leg, and it appeared that the Fox might be wearing something beneath the pant of the left leg, as well as there was a couple symbols of tattoos, including a tattoo on the left forearm, which would appear to have been attempted to be covered with makeup, but during a day dog racing, Aldo was able to sketch the tattoo. In reconstructing it, you were able to find that this likely matches a symbol of an anchor, a specific anchor tattoo that is used to mark employees of dockside warehouses in the docks. So at one point, this individual likely worked in such a situation, worked at a dockside place. You also, in terms of just a few,
sorry to interrupt.
Please.
Have we ever? Maybe this is another role to make, but I want to find out if I ever see him going to the docks.
Yeah, that is a good question. In the current stuff that you've learned, you've never see him going anywhere near the docks. You've never seen him. So that you could make a more specific attempt for it, but you have followed them around somewhat. But mostly, you've only seen the Fox directly around the vicinity of the Heron's Roost, and one of the things that you have seen is that the Fox has several times arrived at the Heron's Roost, but all of the children who have watched the place and other people have left before they've seen the Fox leave. It's been very rare that you've actually seen the Fox leave the Heron's Roost.
Okay.
Which could imply either that the Fox is staying at the Heron's Roost, or that the Fox has another way of getting out of the Heron's Roost that is not publicly visible. A little bit more information. The thing that is built underneath the trousers, you're able to sort of like, Aldo maybe sketches out a schematic of what the build might be, given what you're able to notice about this thing that he's wearing. You surmise that it might be a brace of some kind meant to mitigate a previous injury, but what Aldo is able to sort of generally guess is that this specific device does not match sort of commonly made standard braces that were used to brace soldiers in the war or elsewhere. You get the sense that this was likely custom built. And obviously there's lots of people you could go to get that, but it's certainly possible that you could ask around in the sort of higher academic fields of medicine in the city. Even to you do have one contact there, though. She's not super happy with you.
She's not happy with Bram.
Yes, that's right. She's not happy with Bram.
I believe we had a lovely discussion when she visited me at home.
You did, yes, way back in the day.
Jeez.
Another bit of information. You, when following, there's a lot of stuff. Hopefully, some of it will be useful. But you had seen, some of the children had seen that Casimir was seen delivering flowers and picking up flowers at numerous different flower shops around the city. You get the sense, it's not really clear, but you see, what you're able to notice through the rest of your process is that there are multiple people delivering flowers for the collective to different locations.
Are any of them Eckerd?
No, in fact, all of the flowers that get picked up by collective members get delivered to the same place, a Char Hollow sort of like little shed, and then those flowers are delivered by delivery folk who are not connected to the collective. They may be outsourcing the direct delivery of these flowers. Whoops.
Okay.
Yeah, Casimir himself is a tough find. What you learned from Bram is that he's likely a first generation immigrant from Tycheros and does not appear to be an officially documented individual. So those are some general things. Are there other questions that you feel are sort of basic enough that they would be included in the purview of the collective dossier that I could answer for you?
I don't think so. I mean, you've given me
Okay.
a lot to have fun with.
Great, cool, that's great. We can think more about that. If you have any immediate discussions that I don't know, I'd be curious what Bram and Aldo and Hix are commenting on as this information comes out. But
I think
I
Aldo.
want to ask him. I want to ask him why they never send me any flowers. That's going to be my plan.
Nice, I like that. The thing you do notice, given the flower question, is that you see there are flowers delivered to the Yellow Parrot every 5 days. They are specifically 2 pots of flowers that deliver. They're potted. They deliver every 5 days. They are winter flowers. They're specifically marigolds and hellebores.
So they're just keeping the flowers nice at the Yellow Parrot for us?
Yep. And they're delivered every 5 days. They're delivered. Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. What you thinking, Kristin?
Sorry, have I been receiving these deliveries of flowers and arranging them? Is that has Finette been taking them? Like, I'm curious who is taking these flowers when they get delivered to the Yellow Parrot.
That's a good question. I think we could assume that for a little while they were just like showing up in front of the door. But I imagine Fleur Duval is pretty conscientious about everything that happens.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So you would probably find. I don't know if Finette would even mention them.
Okay.
I think the person who's delivering them is a small woman from Char Hollow who's got a cart, and she just sort of comes by and says, "Oh, just making my rounds, doing my deliveries. Here's for you, yes."
I mean, I think Fleur has sort of been arranging them nicely in the windows. I was just checking if Finette is like paying attention, or any of the collective employees are paying attention to the flowers. If I've noticed anything.
Yeah, none of them are paying any attention at all to the flowers. But it's not to the point of conspicuousness. I think there might be a moment when like someone takes one or says they're nice, but they don't seem to be particularly like aware of them.
Okay.
I should have made you roll for that, but whatever. You're just so charismatic.
So good. Huh. So this is revealed to us as we're chitting and chatting.
It's Aldo, Bram, and Hix are aware of this entire reveal. Yeah. Does anybody head to the Yellow Parrot in the next little bit? Is there ever a moment when you guys are talking details at the Parrot?
I would encourage us to go there and loop the girl in. I mean, Bram's all about getting the team together.
I was about to suggest even that like we're going to need more people with this, and someone needs to talk to Varric, and frankly I don't really want to, so someone can, and then he looks at Hix like it's not like that. It's because
it's fine. I know. It's fine.
We're working on it. All right, working on it. But I can go check in on the girls. We meet at the Yellow Parrot.
I'll meet you there.
Great.
I'll go get Varric. I'll see if I can find it.
Great.
Great.
Because
I'll just swing by his place.
Great. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna try to meet you there. I don't know. I'll go find Varric.
Yeah. Jamie, has there been anything going on that you any scenes you want to get in before this happens, or what's your feeling?
I guess, depending on a question, Morgan knows how to brew the dull edge. Is Morgan a good doctor?
Oh, good question. Morgan looks at you as you ask the question and goes, I took several anatomy classes. I had to understand how the body works generally and how it responds to toxins and other chemicals. It would certainly depend on the manner of treatments.
Well, I mean, there's some things might be easier than others. I've got this sort of lingering fear and anxiety.
I
sort
could
of
do what I
stuck
can
around.
for that, but I'm not sure how.
Well, and then there's how are you with animal sort of attacks?
I have not any experience at all in helping anyone with animal attacks. I certainly could attack. I mean, if it's a laceration, I could treat that. I could just treat it for infection.
It's definitely partially a laceration, partially whatever this is. He's gonna sort of hike his leg up onto the table.
Oh, pulls out their handkerchief. I see. Wow.
Yeah. The smell has gotten worse. I don't think it's dying, but it smells like it wants to.
Yes. I've been to Leviathan Blood Processing Factory before. This is very much the smell. Yes,
good. Good.
Unprocessed. Yes. Yes, it's extremely toxic, and everyone there wears very intensive gear to avoid any contact with it.
I try. In fairness, I tried to avoid contact with it, but it really wanted to say hello.
I have full confidence in your desire to avoid unpleasant situations. Yes, I can certainly try. They would have two dice in attempting to do this, which I think is one less than Aldo.
I'll take it. Take
it. Great.
It's having a conversation.
We don't want any of that in this game. That's gonna be a 4. So you're gonna get 2 ticks.
2 ticks.
I'm just gonna roll mine just to see what it would have been.
Morgan's gonna say, while tending your wounds, did you get my letter and the flowers I sent?
Yes, I did. Sort of pausing. Can I have opened the letter and read it?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. The letter. I mean, the letter was actually pretty tame. There's like the flowers are the biggest tip off to you, and generally it's just like progress is going well. Hope to see you at the lab soon, Morgan.
Okay.
You know, like maybe and there's maybe an excuse for the flowers. You know, spotted these on the way back. Couldn't leave them at my place or whatever.
Yes, I got your letters and the flowers. Thank you. You gave them to Yun.
I left them at the door. I don't know who that is.
We haven't really established any. I think it's best if whatever we have going on here sort of stays to this room. You don't mind.
Because
just,
there's this other person.
Well, just personal questions aren't really part of our operating system. It's best to keep that distance, I think.
Yes. I see. I did like that rule when I was approached originally. Not sure how I feel about it now.
Look, I'm not. I'm trying not to have anyone get hurt. So if you can just trust me, I think this is for the best for everyone. I can tell you more about it if you really want.
What's your role on this, Varric?
I'm gonna go with a no, not sway, consort, because I don't think Varric
Okay.
thinks
Yeah, you're not
he's lying.
lying.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
I think you're telling the truth, per se.
Yeah, sure.
A 5.
Okay. Yeah. Morgan's visage changes a little bit. They look around at the lab and sort of pull themselves together a little bit, button up their blast one button, and say, I think we are our shared youth in the nobility of Duskfall has prepared us for a great deal of ambiguity, and I hope for a bit of discretion.
Look, honesty is hard to come by in my profession. We were interested in perhaps a quid pro quo, sharing personal information. That.
Okay. I personally think in this situation, the less I know, the better. I should probably go. I need to make a delivery.
Okay, thank you for they are appreciated.
I'll avoid sending any.
Just you leave them here. I'll get them.
Yes.
Leave things for you here. If you want.
Oh, that's all right. Yes. I'll see you very soon.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you for my leg and.
You're welcome
right.
for your leg. Yes.
Yes.
And they bundle themselves up with a couple coats, put on some thick gloves, big wrapped scarf, and head out into.
Is there a
the
table
afternoon.
of any like smashable objects that I can sweep aside without like destroying any?
This is Aldo's lab. Yeah.
There's yeah.
Go full Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo.
Hix wants to show
Anything
up now.
else?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you're muted. You're muted, Richmond.
Oh yeah, that's right. I guess I'll check the labs since Aldo said that they would be there. Notice the broken things on the ground, like choose to not say anything, just look to Varric. Hello, Varric. How's it going?
Hello, Hix. It's going awfully, just really, really shittily. You know.
You want to get some food and tell me about it?
God, yes, I'd love that.
Great. Let's go indulge our vice. Have a meal together. How about that?
All right.
A classic Hix and Varric.
Amazing. Where do you head? Do you go to Primetime? Do you go to the Yellow Parrot? Do you go elsewhere?
Let's go to the Heron's Roost.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
kind of
you-
where I want to go. I don't know. It's kind of fun. We get
Yeah.
treated nice over there now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Barracks down.
Yeah. You take maybe a ferry that gets you all the way that direction down towards Night Market. It takes a little while. We'll do the funny thing where, like in movies, even though there's a long transit time in between things, they're continuing the same conversation when they move from one place to the other. So if anybody's illusion is broken by that, we're very sorry. But you leap to the to the Heron's Roost, which has this like very sort of newfangled, kind of like imagine like Art Deco, but with electroplasmic light look of the Heron's Roost. There's like all this like this beautiful floor. There's also sort of the gambling area where they're like very classy gambling games. You sit down and are welcomed very warmly, but without mentions of names. They just say sirs, and like immediately escort you to a table. There are drinks on the table before you sit down, and everyone's very nice.
Wonderful. I don't know.
Thank you for this, Hix. I needed this. I've been so wound up since going out past the lightning walls.
Yeah, I feel you. Me too. I don't know. I mean, I love them. I guess that's why we do it.
Yes, that's why we do it. Why we jump through white ghost gates into visions of whatever the bloody hell's going on.
Whatever's going on. I mean, it seems somewhat problematic.
Did you see anything?
No. I mean, I
outside
saw
of the clam. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but you mean see anything aside from the myriad of fucked up shit that I did see? No, I didn't step into the white gate, but I understand it was pretty troubling in there and kind of a weird experience. I'm kind of glad I stayed out.
Yeah. I don't even know if it was a hallucination or if we were really somewhere. Although I was chasing after this ghost girl.
Do you know who it was?
Said it was niece. Did you say that? Yeah. He said it happened a long time ago. Something bad happened to her. Apparently that's what's been up his ass this whole time.
Well, what do you make of that?
I mean, I feel bad for him, obviously. I feel bad for her. Rescued her from the spirit wardens, I think, or had a ghost. She definitely died. And I think this kind of puts into perspective his irrational dislike of the collective. I think one of the members may have been involved.
Which one?
I heard them mention Casimir's name, but we didn't see him anywhere. I don't know. There might have been more, but he kicked me out rather unceremoniously at that point.
Well, I mean, I don't know about you, but I kind of try to live by a personal code. I don't like to keep the rules that others set for me usually, but I mean, I just don't really want to don't know. I don't want to deal in the trafficking of kids, and I don't want to enable people who are. And we also let the Rathsbanes back into the city without really looking into what sort of interests they have.
Yeah.
And so it just seems like we might need to pause a little bit and just assess and get together and really be real with ourselves and then real with each other about what, like, if we're getting ready to cross over a line here. Because it sort of feels like that. It obviously feels like that for others in the crew, and it's starting to feel like that for me.
I can see which way the wind seems to be blowing, but just to be hasty, rushing into. This is the best thing that's happened to us in a long time, and yes, obviously, I don't want to be party to the trafficking of children. I mean, I'm trying to find Robert Boom's missing children. So, yes, that's all bad. I agree. We should do something to decouple ourselves from anything like that. But I don't want to lose what we've been able to build. And I don't think we can just cut all ties with the collective and give that up.
Mm-hmm.
You think the girl's going to want to give up the yellow parrot?
No. Well, and I don't know that we're going to have to. I mean, we don't know the extent of their operation, and we don't know how many people know about this with it. How many of the masks know about this?
Right. This could just be an isolated thing. This could just be Casimir running a dirty little operation.
Well, it's not just Casimir. It's also the Fox, for sure.
How do you know?
I will let you into what I know about the collective dossier. And
there's a couple moments where like someone comes up and is like, more drinks, and you guys both just have to get real quiet for a second as they pour their drinks and then leave. You like you're in the middle of the collective. It's a flex.
How long
I mean, I think I'll try to just like from there. I think I'll try to just speak vaguely, but in a way that you understand.
How long have you been looking into this?
I tell you, a long time. Ever since we started working with them. I mean, Varric, I like to know a little bit about the people with whom I'm working so that I don't find myself in a bad situation. So, like, don't just be writing it off as paranoia or like bad business sense, because it seems worthwhile. I think that you've, gotten a little bit of money and it's made you start slipping a little bit in some ways.
It's just everything was supposed to start getting easier, I thought. Now it's just more complicated.
Yeah, well, there's more pieces on the board.
Yeah.
Nature of the game, baby. I'll cheers him. Enough about this. I don't know why we're getting all serious up here in our dinner. I'm gonna roll an indulge vice here.
I will join you.
And that is a 4. Using my functioning vice, I will adjust that to a 5 and clear my stress.
That is a 4 for me. I'm gonna just leave that as a 4 because I want to leave myself.
Seems appropriate.
So, as the two of you are like leaning in, enjoying some delicious food, you learn that it has been paid for. That all of your drinks and food are on the house.
Ooh, yuck.
After, as you guys are getting ready, someone comes up to you and goes, "My friends, it is so good to see you." And it is Casimir.
Pleasure as always, Casimir.
How are you? Reach out, shake your hand.
Varric kind of chokes a little bit on a bit of water he was drinking. My friend.
I hope everything was to your liking. Was there too much pepper, perhaps?
No, lovely. I just wrong wind like this.
Of course, yes.
Good stuff there. Yes.
Yes.
How are you?
Busy, but things have been good. Just trying to keep up. You've been such a. I'm surprised we haven't been working all together very much lately. Any deliveries or anything? But I suppose you're a bit more important than I am.
Wow, that
Oh,
couldn't
I
possibly.
bet you said that to everybody.
How's Bram?
Same old Bram.
You've seen him? He's all right in the blizzard. It's been quite terrible.
No,
I was
think-
worried he didn't have a place to stay.
Well, if you'd like, I could put you in contact with him.
I'd love to see him whenever he'd love to come by. Be wonderful.
Wonderful. I'll let him know.
Right. Well, anyway, gentlemen, on me. Have a good evening. And he strides off. His shoes, his immaculately polished shoes, clacking against the marble. I know, been frozen mid-wave. Great, it's back.
What are we? I think we. Well,
We are waiting on still frozen Hix. But yes, go ahead, Jamie.
I would say that we would exit exit the Heron's Roost
Sure.
at this point and kind of just discuss I suppose figuring out reconnecting with everyone else.
Sure. Yeah. So Hix, do you invite Varric to this meeting at the Parrot?
Yeah.
Cool.
And before we all end up meeting with each other, perhaps we leave Bram, you and I, to go there to talk with the girl first. If
Sure.
that's all right, girl. If the proprietress is in.
Yeah, I mean, I think as you walk through the door, Fleur Duval is maybe arranging some flowers, and she'll welcome you.
So,
I mean, welcome to the Yellow Parrot. I'm so pleased that you could join us from the cold out there. We have a lovely selection of soups and warm drinks, and there's a table right by the fire should you like it.
Ah, good. Freeze my arse off.
Great.
and as
And
we go. Oh, sorry.
she'll take your coats off, lead you to the table, hand you some menus.
As we're going over there, Aldo whispers into Bram's ear, "You might want to take lead on this. The last thing I said to her was maybe not so nice."
You son of a bitch.
She started it and sits down.
Well, thank you for your hospitality.
Yes, of course. Can I start with you with some drinks, perhaps?
Yeah,
And I'll order drinks. I think I know what Aldo likes. And then I'll try to catch. Now, tell me this, Kristin. When is this normal for us to come in and for you to have this kind of feigned formality with us? Or I mean, it's possible it's not feigned.
No, I think a lot of the times, especially with you, Bram, because the girl doesn't appreciate your muddy shoes and bloody face all the time, she'll often directly lead you to the back room and be like, get in here. So no, not typical.
Okay.
She goes away to get the drinks.
Yeah, so she'll go behind the bar and tell the bartender put in the order.
Aldo does not eat here very often. He's cleared. He's pretty much only comes here for business, so this is not weird to him.
Yeah. It is.
I'll just look in her direction as she goes and say,
This is not normal. Usually she's trying to hide me away.
Well, I mean, in her defense, you are a right mess. Kind of looking you up and down.
Yeah, so why am I not being stuffed in the back room?
Probably the girl Tormus. Well, no, the other bartender who's not Tormus sort of looks at you at the table and says, "Did you not want them in the back room?"
I mean, I think if they're paying customers, they can sit by the fire. Thank you so much for the drinks, by the way. And she'll take them, bring them over.
Fleur.
Yes? Did I introduce myself? Mrs. Duval. So pleased to meet you.
We've met.
I'm sorry? Perhaps you've come before.
Yes, we've spoken with Fleur, we've spoken with Tess, we've spoken with a number of women.
I'm so pleased to hear it. Half the population, I suppose.
Can we speak with you in private? It's not for food that we've come.
If you'd like to sit at the bar, I can certainly arrange that.
Okay, you can drop the act now. It's hilarious, honestly. I love watching him get riled up. But come on, sit down, pull up a chair.
I'm so sorry. I mean, I do have other customers. Although, if you'd like to chat, of course, perhaps over a meal, I'm happy to do so.
We're here to discuss business.
and he's like putting on all the fraught, sauce on that word as he possibly can.
Are you perhaps from the White Stag, from the collective?
Yes, in a way.
Is there someone? He gets like really close. Is there something wrong? Is somebody here?
I'm afraid I don't know what you're referring to, but the back room doesn't have a reservation until this evening when I think a big party is coming in, so I'm happy to lead you back.
And looks to Bram like,
Yeah, I'll let her lead us back there. Bram's just quiet now, studying. Can I do a study?
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
study. I'm honestly a little freaked out right now.
This is so cool. All right, it's a 3. So Bram is just suddenly getting like this kind of like really off-put, quiet, sullen, confused demeanor and doesn't say another word.
The bartender comes back from behind the bar to the girl, to Fleur as they're heading back, and he just checks in. Anything you need from me? Oh, are we all right?
I'll see if they order more drinks or more food, and I'll let you know. But I think there's nothing to worry about. They say they want to discuss business. I think it's something about the collective.
All right. He goes back.
And she'll open the back door. Of course, it's not as warm as by the fire, which is why I thought maybe you would prefer that. But
yeah, but it's a bit quieter, isn't it?
Oh, certainly more private. Yes, take a seat.
Surely now you can. This is where we meet, and it's private indeed. Come on, you drop it already. We have pressing information. We need to bring you up to speed.
Up to speed about business dealings. Well, I'm happy to hear anything, of course.
What? Tess, what? Fleur, whatever you want to be called.
Mrs. Fleur Duval.
Have you seen her? Is this like shocked? Like, is this the first time Bram's seeing her after the event?
Yeah. Oh no, I came in one time.
Did she regard you? I can't remember. Sorry.
Yeah, it was like that night, right, Kristin?
Yeah, and she didn't say a word. She looked at you like she hadn't remembered who you were, and she went upstairs.
Oh my gosh. Oh, she's stuck. Crap. Okay. And looking back, like this, we went. Sure, you remember this? We found the White Gate. You were there. We went through. Is this has something to do with that?
I'm sorry. Is the White Gate a bar in the city?
He goes. He's gonna walk out and he's gonna go to talk to Tormas and leave you there alone. Bram, fix it. He says to you.
Yeah, it's not Tormas. It's a different guy at the bar. It's so he's not here this evening. So it's
Tormas,
a guy you don't know at the bar. Yeah, Tormas is out.
Okay, and I never come here. This is a terrible idea. He's gonna just walk in and be like, "He's excuse me, our friend Fleur. Is she been acting all right? Strangely?" Listen.
She's just been working hard the last few days.
No, I need you to be straight with me. This is our friend. How long have you been working here?
Month and a half.
With the collective?
Make a roll.
Ooh.
What do you think?
Jiminy Christmas. I'm just trying to honestly consort here.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
It's an honest consortation here.
Okay. No dishonesty here.
Yeah, no
Understood.
dishonesty.
Yeah, if
not taking
if it's
that
good,
one.
Keep it. If it's bad, re-roll it. Yeah.
Okay. This is a 2.
He goes, listen, I've seen the other guy here before a few times. I don't want to be rude. It's just that I don't know you.
I understand. It's okay.
Mrs. Duval is very hospitable, but I want to make sure that she's safe.
Just if you would be so kind, Tormes, if you'd let him know Aldo was asking for him, no worries. Perhaps, yes. I'm sorry to bother you,
Yeah.
and he's gonna turn away.
Will do. I'll leave a note for him. All right.
Thank you.
Miss Duval,
Yes.
do you really mean to say that you don't recognize us?
I mean, perhaps I've seen you around the Yellow Parrot. In fact, I think I do. Of course I do. I'm sorry that I forgot you earlier, but always happy to see a return customer.
No, I'm very sorry, miss, to say that you know us very well. We spent quite a bit of time together for the last 8 months or so.
I'm so sorry. I think you're perhaps mistaken.
I'm not fucking mistaken.
I mean,
You're
if
part of our crew.
A crew? If you're going to raise your voice at me, I don't see how this is relevant business dealings, so I will just leave.
Oh boy, I don't have any leverage because I wasn't there for the experience.
Yeah,
So I don't even know what happened really in the Lost District
Yeah.
to be able to jar her memory.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, coming back in, I think Aldo says to Bram, this is. Something happened. I don't know what we need. We need the others.
I know we're not on a score, but can I say that I have something like that was an object that passed between us at some point in the last 8 months as we've been working together?
What
I know
do
that
you
she
think, Kristin?
took,
Is there anything?
like Graham
Yeah,
knows that she took the
I have the
telegram.
note. Yeah, I still have the telegram.
But
I'm
Bram
trying to
doesn't
think.
know you took it.
This
Yeah.
is tough.
I mean, and I have the mirror your other character gave to me in my
Yeah.
room. But
Yeah.
Is this dress one of the ones that we've worked on? Am I gonna trigger the dress? It's
Yeah, I
probably
mean,
Good call, Kristin.
I don't know. I think I wear that dress a lot. I probably have some furs over it, and I have a a band around my neck from a scar, but
Oh, geez.
it could be the same.
I mean, I love the idea of trying to grab at your dress and try to
I don't.
activate the mechanism. Sorry, not like I just mean. I hope it's the dress.
What we could do is we could do like an opposed roll if Fleur would
Sure.
resist it.
Yeah, I
So
mean, I think
essentially-
if she sees a stranger approaching her to grab at a dress, she'd probably back away.
Yeah, as long
it's
as you
look, no,
consent
this
to
will
it
explain
as a
it. This will
player.
explain it. Yeah, it's okay if I try to.
Yeah, as long as you consent to this, Kristin, as a player.
Yes, yeah, I
you're good
do.
with this.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
great. So I think just what would be the role? Are you both attempting skirmish? What are you attempting?
If
it can be
she's resisting,
different.
It might need to be. I was gonna try to finesse to activate it, but it might be messier than that.
I can roll for skirmish too. I think I have because I have not healed, so I'm pretty sure I have reduced effect.
Not in skirmish.
Oh. Okay, great.
Yeah, I found my notes on what white fire affects, which is wreck, command, and tinker.
Okay.
Suck at all those.
Yeah.
I rolled a 5.
I rolled a 3.
Okay, so Aldo rather gently goes around and pulls on whatever tab it is, and suddenly the dress. Describe how it works, Kristin.
Well, because normally the way it works is I'm wearing the thieves' blacks.
It goes the other way.
And it goes the other way. But I think it'd be reasonable for you to like pull on something that indicates that there is a contraption and there is like this skin tight black something that's kind of like is behind the dress.
Sure.
But that there's maybe like a part that
this is awkward.
where the black thread comes out that I have to pull.
And he's like, look, this is, we made this together. This is a custom made for the work that you do with us.
She
puts his hands up and steps away from it. Like,
is going to immediately, if it's okay with you, Carson, like shove Aldo against the wall. She's going to draw her knife. She's going to hold it to your throat and say, "Fuck you, Aldo. Fuck you."
Oh, now you bloody remember.
Please just don't say anything.
Put the knife down. Who are we talking to this time?
We're talking to Kaiafel. I don't think we've been introduced, Bram. And she'll turn. She's grabbed both her knives now. There's both out.
Now, I certainly recognize that name, don't I? I know Bram's heard that before.
Yeah, Kaiafel is the first queen of Duskfall.
How much stress can I spend to have my friend show up?
Yeah, I think we need to call it.
We can
they're on their way
right now and just like see her pinning Aldo against the wall and just be like, Aldo, you motherfucker, you can make an enemy
It's
of
not
everyone.
what it looks like.
Did you stab her with a needle?
No, I didn't. I'm sorry. You said, say the name again. I'm sorry.
Name's Kaiafel. I'm not sure we've been introduced. Would everyone like to take a seat?
And Aldo does the puppy dog like.
Yeah.
I do so quietly and directly.
Bella, what's this? What are you doing?
I think we have a lot to discuss. Aldo, I know you've been worried lately about missing children. While I may not always agree with you, I want you to know that I'll do whatever it takes. What is it that you need from me?
I'll be honest, I was a little bit worried about this development, but now I'm quite happy.
I know Aldo's like nodding slowly and stands up, sits down.
She still has the knives, sort of just out, gesturing. She wants you to know they're there.
The bartender walks in, sees 4 men sitting down at the table, and the girl standing with 2 knives, and then goes, Oh, and then leaps.
Perfect. Wow.
It's. I think. Do you know them? Do you know us? KFL?
Bram, Hix, Varric, and Aldo.
Aldo like leans over to Hix and is like, she got stuck or something. She did not know us, and now she does.
She'll take a knife and like stab it into the table because she's mad that you're whispering about her.
It's like she's
That's
right
all.
there, man. She's right
Sorry,
there, dude.
Sorry, you're right.
Let's get to work.
Wait, what's this? What do you? Your name's Kaifel? What? But you didn't have a name.
I think we've just got a new one.
I've always had a name. You may not have known my name.
Wait. Like this is another one of your like identities?
Don't you wish that was true?
Now look, if she says her name is Kaifel and she's ready to do business, let's get down to it. We don't need to discuss it any further.
Right? I apologize.
Apology accepted. She'll grab the knife from the table. And then she'll sit down at the head of the table with her knives in front of her.
Would anyone like
Great.
a drink?
Yes, please.
I'll have, why not? Seems right.
Right.
And you can go get them
Yeah.
yourselves.
I'll like
Although-
knock on the
yeah,
like
yeah.
server window thing, as I'm accustomed to doing since I do business here a lot. This is like my like office back room, and you've been like renting it out for like birthday parties or whatever while I've been gone.
Like occasionally shuffling off some papers. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
Yep. Drinks
Some
get
point
served
in
around the
it-
table.
Great. And then the mix of this as it's serving, Aldo probably hands one to Varric and just says, "How's Morgan?" And then kind of just back, not looking for an answer. Didn't wait for one.
What a dick.
Brahm's lighting a cigar in front of him.
Varric sort of looking around it to see who might be an ally in this room at the moment, and he's going to shuffle over nearer to Hix and just lean against the wall. By Hix.
Great. So I'll lay out the collective dossier in the fullest detail for all to share in the knowledge that this is what's happening, that this is the evidence that, or I mean, do we have evidence against Casimir besides just like who has seen it? Like Aldo, Bram, Varric has seen Casimir up to something.
I haven't seen Casimir doing anything. I heard two thugs discussing Casimir while
Ghost vision.
Ghost vision. And Hix, I showed you everything I saw. Not that it's reliable, but I ghosted it into your brain, so you've seen what I've seen.
So do we think he's still doing this?
I do. Yes.
I think it's clear the issue stands that the collective or several central members are involved in a ring of exploitative business having to do with young boys and girls.
We know that two members are involved in this. According to this dossier, the rest of it is restaurants and clubs and political favors.
I mean, the solution to me seems fairly simple. We sneak into their rooms, middle of the night, slit their throats. If the operation continues, clearly more people are involved. And if it doesn't,
Right.
we've won.
I agree.
Well, Well, yes, that's certainly one way of doing it.
Is there another you'd like to suggest?
Hmm.
We find out more. We find out where these children might be being kept. We gather evidence. Maybe we bring it to the stag. We let her know about the rot in her organization.
And if she is involved?
We can't
Then-
trust anyone that is not in this room. End of story.
Well, we haven't exactly been trusting everyone in this room recently, have we?
No, we haven't. I think the time has come for us to put our personal matters aside and work together, because a window is very narrowly closing in which we can act before the collective knows what we're doing. I was questioned by Casimir, and he knows some of what we've been discussing and discovering, at least a part,
So we kill him first.
unless he can be useful.
In what
What's
way?
more important to you, killing this man or finding his children?
Why not both?
Well, just we kill him, we sneak into his house and slit his throat. I don't know if he can tell us anything.
That's right. If he can be utilized, we've got to keep him. But he's only going to be a neutral piece for so long.
You seem to have a relationship or something with him. He let you go. Is that something you could leverage? Or perhaps somebody... Varric, if you feel like you could stand to lie a little bit more, perhaps to your beloved employers, you could gather some information yourself.
I could, I suppose.
I'll say this, I don't think it should be me. I have a feeling I was lucky to get out of this flat alive. I think if we
Flat?
meet again, only one of us is leaving.
But do you know where he lives then? You were
Uh,
there?
I was there, I was blindfolded.
Hmm.
All right. Well, it seems like regardless, we need some more information because we don't even know where he lives. I think it seems like he's on to us. Varric and I were just at the Heron's Roost together, and he does send his regards, Bram. He asked about you. I feel like he's indicating something. And so, personally, I would be more comfortable if he were no longer a concern. But in order for us to neutralize him, we need to find out where he's most vulnerable. So, Varric, I suggest that if you want to figure out if this is just the Fox and Casimir, then you do some legwork and figure it out.
But
And
I am
I'm
not.
willing.
I am not condoning any actions against the rest of the collective right now.
Maybe you don't have to. Condone or not condone, maybe it can move forward without you.
Bella, what happened to the money and the
My
parrot?
name is not Bella.
Pyethel.
Let's make one thing very clear. If we don't get on the same page and work together, we'll all end up dead. I've no doubt in my mind. So we need to stay in this room until we can agree and work in unison. And if that means following orders from Hix, let's bloody well do it. But we've got to be together on this. Because this is very quickly going to turn into a war.
I think you are right, Bram, but I think Kaifel has a point. Looking to Varric. It seems to me that you are the most unsure about the next steps we need to take.
I think you're all getting ahead of yourselves.
And this is when Aldo slams both fists on the table and stands up and pushes him against a wall. If that's okay.
Yep, sure.
And then he says, "This is me getting ahead of myself."
Going to hit me? Again? Go on.
Feel my hand on your shoulder, Aldo.
I'm not the one who's done this to you or to any of us. I'm trying to make sure we come out of this in the best possible situation instead of, as you've said, starting a war that we don't know that we can win. We do something small, cut out the cancer, and then assess from there. I'm not saying I won't be with you. I'm saying I'm not agreeing to anything cataclysmic right now.
Well, I don't think we need to do anything cataclysmic. I think we need to decide if we need to kill Casimir.
And before we do that, we need information. Information that you can get, Varric.
I am thrilled to get more information. I would love some context on this.
Perhaps your new assistant could provide something for you. I assume they are from the collective, yes? We've never quite really established that, so I am making an assumption, but I am right, yes?
Yes. Yes.
He's in bed with the collective more than any of us.
Oh, I'm sorry. Look around us. Kaifel, your staff are partially here from the collective. I mean, our entire business model is built out of the collective. Of course, we have close connections with collective members.
These aren't my staff. I don't know what you're talking about.
We're all in bed with the collective. We are. We found ourselves here. We rely on them for the safe and efficient functioning of our operation at this point. We've gotten in a little bit too deep, too fast. We all are.
And for your information, although Morgan doesn't know anything about Casimir, all right?
All right.
I hope you're right, Varric. I hope that this can be contained. But I think you're being very optimistic about that. And I think there is a chance, even if it's a small one, that it already has gotten out of hand and things will move outside of our control. So in this window, while we are in control, we need to make very efficient, very careful steps.
Agreed.
Right? So we find where Casimir lives, and we abduct him for information.
I don't think it'll be that simple, but perhaps. God, what has gotten into you? That's really savage. Everything you've said is savage. You still have knives on the table. Oh, God, this group.
I'll start just giving a bit of background information about what I learned about Casimir in terms of I made an action to determine, and I asked him some questions about where his sort of strengths and abilities lie. And I think that I got the impression that he has like some preternatural abilities. And so I'll just give a little bit of a hint about that, like as much as I know, which I don't think is much in specifics. But you know, sort of develop a plan around the idea that even if we were to abduct Casimir, it's very likely we couldn't handle him if he were allowed access to whatever abilities he has. His Tycherosi blood doesn't manifest physically, but it's certainly there.
He, I don't know exactly what it was, but when I tried to kill him, he was able to push me away before Bram dismissed me. So unceremoniously. He sort of cracks a wry smile at you, Bram.
I just blow smoke in your face.
So I think he's right.
So we need more info. Great. Let's go.
Yeah, I think unless they're
find some.
Great.
Go on.
Yeah. Unless there's any other questions or discussions that happen here in large groups as well. Yeah, go ahead.
One
please.
small thing on the way out with Varric, where he'll stop next to him. And Varric, in genuine eyes, I haven't forgotten what you have done, what you did for me and for Danya.
Yeah, it really seems like it.
We need to finish the job. So, don't fuck it up. Walks out.
As they leave, Fleur Duval will just say, I do hope you come again, especially on a cold day. Isn't the soup so wonderful?
Aldo's like, get out of here.
I'm gonna take out whatever scrap of paper, maybe a napkin, and on a napkin with like a fountain pen or something, I'm gonna write our names, and I'm gonna say, Miss Duval.
Yes.
We've just had a very productive meeting, and we intend to make your place of work a regular spot for our communications and business dealings. If you can keep this room available for these patrons, we'd be very grateful.
I mean, I do sometimes have reservations, but of course, when the room is not in use, I'm more than happy to open it up for you.
I'll grit my teeth and pull out a coin and put it on the table.
Thank you so much. I think I can arrange a little bit more access to the room.
That hurt, just so you know. I had no liquid coin.
Oh, shoot. I meant there was one more piece of Varric. So you made me think of this with the coin. Which is, I wanted to spend some coin to take an action to rebuild the stupid wrist thing, and I wanted to hand it to him with "Don't fuck it up." Is that okay? Can I flash that back a little
That's
bit?
great.
Yep. Spend a coin, make an action. It's expensive, Varric, so jeez. And
this is great. We're in the writer's room. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
As Fleur is leading Hix out or whatever situation is happening, Bram, you are the last person left in the room, and you just hear tiniest sounds of a few footsteps disappearing out through the window.
Yeah, I know.
One more tick until we know that you know. So
no, can I resist that somehow? Can I get an action to resist it?
There's one of the pans in the kitchen. If you go, is sort of rolling.
Hold on. We were being spied on.
Yeah, no question by the fucking new barkeep. Ted, can I get some kind of action to resist that tick?
Yeah.
Give
it to him.
Totally. Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
What I would like to do is a full-on
my Morgan when this is happening in Paris.
I would like to do a full-on French Connection foot chase. To wherever that person is going, and if I have to get in a vehicle, like do a coach ride.
Someone's playing bongos in the background while you're.
Yeah, we're gonna create two clocks. Okay. It's going to be they get away, and it's going to be you get them. Those are the very dramatic names of these clocks. They get because of the lead. They get away is four ticks, and you get them as 8 clicks. Eight ticks to get. So go ahead.
Okay, I would like to use skirmish to just pell-mell, try and close the distance down this alley behind the yellow parrot.
Through crates and boxes and stuff.
Yeah, and I'm gonna push
Okay, great.
I'm
You roll
gonna
the die.
like slap Hix on the shoulder with the back of my hand and then just take off running through the kitchen.
I just start running instinctively after. It's like herd mentality with Hicks.
The 4.
Okay, so that's gonna be. I'm gonna put 2 into you get them and 1 into they get away. So you are sprinting down the street. You're going after it. You maybe catch like a glimpse of some shoes. You're still hearing them. You're out in the middle. It is absolutely frigid, horrible out here. It is like the wind is just howling. These people, you're gonna get lost so quick in the storm. Go ahead, make another action, or Hix if you want to make an action.
Great.
What do you wanna do?
I'm going to, since we're in Silkshore, I'm going to use my knowledge of the hood to pick a good shortcut using hunt.
Okay, great.
That is a 5.
Okay, great. I'm gonna put 1 more into they get away, and 2 more into you get them. So you, you actually, let's say Hix, like there's a cart or something. There's always well-placed carts in these things. You run up a well-placed cart, leap up onto a rooftop, sort of pull yourself up a little bit less gracefully than the cart leap. But you're on top of a roof. You're looking around. The wind is just like right in your face, stinging your eyes as you're scanning. You see a figure. Bram, what's your action? Or anybody else? Is anybody else to see with the action? I think Varric and Aldo are gone at this point. Maybe, I don't know.
Is this the
I'm not getting into
bartender?
the chase.
This is the same bartender? Or no?
Yes. It was I mean, I would have originally thought that, but it was a fun idea, so I was like, yeah, let's do it.
I didn't like that guy.
I mean, in that case, I think I'm chasing too, because that's my hired help of the day. So I would love to make a roll. Perhaps, I know Hix has already claimed the rooftops, my normal domain.
Join me
but
on the rooftops, Kai.
I'd love to join you on the rooftops.
Yeah, do it.
Like very quickly swinging myself up and then running along the rooftops. Okay. Can I roll a prowl, or is that not cool?
You can roll a prowl, of course.
I feel like I'm prowling. Yeah, that's the vibe.
Yeah.
That's the vibe as I'm prowling. Try and swoop down on top of them.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a 3.
Okay. You describe what it looks like as Kaiafel like leaps into action. Like, is there a different spirit to her than there's been to these other versions of the girl, or is this Fleur again, or is this Kaiafel?
No, I think this is Kaiafel. Like seeing the hired help has snapped her into that mode, perhaps, and I think there's just a kind of viciousness, one could say, and like a more forward lean. Like there's something very wolf-like about it suddenly, like a very like hunched and forward. Maybe not hunched, but a very like forward energy, shoulders forward, and a kind of brutality to her movements.
Yeah, it sounds like a panther, or like a big old cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you're like leaping across. So Hix, you're up there, and like the wind is pounding on you, but Fleur just like disappears, leaps out into it. You leap across 3 rooftops after this figure, like kicking aside things, doing parkour moves. You eventually like leap down off of this 1-story building onto a figure, slam them down onto the ground, hold up the knife, and this old man looks up at you and go, sort of toothless, going, "I'm so sorry."
Maybe you should have been in the wrong place then, and then she'll take off again.
Yeah, and with that 3, the 2 last ticks have filled, and the figure is gone into the night. So you're at
I'll just
7 and
as
8.
we're walking, as we like reconnect, and like I'm just gonna look at the girl and I'll be like, "You're slipping. You're slipping.
I'm sorry.
Tighten up."
Who are you referring to? Slipping on what? Was the soup not to your liking?
Very convenient. And I'm just gonna leave.
I'll just give Fleur a kind of nod of understanding and gratitude and go after Hix.
And it is at this point, a little as you two are walking through the district, that you are approached by someone else, by Grace Meacham of the Inspectors. She approaches you in the blazing wind, and invites you to a meeting with Silas Ward, the leader of the inspectors. You can choose to invite anyone else you want. What does the discussion look like with Grace, either in this moment in the blizzard or elsewhere?
Sure. I think we'd be down to meet with you, but you should come to the Yellow Parrot at this time.
Can you ensure the safety of the location?
Yeah, we can.
Right. What's your role on that?
Command.
Great. Sure.
Fine.
Okay. She says, we have a witness who we'd like for you to meet. We can't bring them to that location. If you would prefer to just meet with us in advance of the witness, we can come meet you.
What do you want?
She looks around, like pulls her cap lower against the blizzard. We'd prefer to discuss it in private. We are attempting.
I'm not
to do our
going
job.
anywhere with you in private unless you drag my ass there. Now you can give me some sort of details on what you want, or you can be about your way.
We're trying to take down a ring of traffickers. We think you can help us with that.
Okay, where do we meet?
At our headquarters in Brightstone. Tomorrow night.
Ooh, that's pretty risky for us, don't you think? Don't you think, Bram?
Wow. Yeah, I'm torn as the player. I think Bram is just stoically glaring in her direction. I don't know. I think it's going to be risky no matter what. Honestly, I think meeting at the Yellow Parrot is risky at this point.
Yeah, that was my original plan until we realized that the help is spying and has been. God damn it.
We have a secondary location. Our older headquarters in the docks. It's a secondary place.
That would be preferable to us.
All right. She tells you an address and confirms a time.
Right.
Yeah. Do you invite anyone else to the meet?
I mean, I think anyone who wants to be there can be there.
Yeah, I don't want to uninvite anyone, but I also feel like Hix and Bram might be the most focused at the moment.
Yeah, Aldo's gonna pick a fight with one of you. Like KFL's gonna
Aldo's
disassociate.
picking a fight?
Varric's
No.
gonna be like counting the dollars in his wallet.
No, 100%. You're right. And Aldo has something else.
But
to do
no,
anyway.
I mean, I think
He's
I'd
gotta
be
do
down to
something
take
else.
Varric. I think I'd
Yeah.
be down to take Varric. Actually, I think maybe taking Varric would be a good idea.
Okay, but Varric does not want inspectors knowing that he's part of the. He'll probably go in
That's fair.
disguise. If not, he's gonna bring out his fake beard that he's been using all season. Put that on. And
You're our
yeah,
associate.
yeah, like trade out some clothes. He's got. Maybe go down to the workshop if there's anything of Aldo's left over. He's gonna like grab some old. Yeah,
You'll find his old green overcoat.
yeah. He'll have that on and the beard. He'll go with.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, Grace Meacham is the one that I shot in the face.
Hix shot her in the face.
Oh,
Hix.
Hix.
You tackled her out of a window on a boat.
That
The two of
you know
rolled
what?
down
And I
That's
blew up the door.
Yeah, back when you were getting Florencia Dietrich into the city. Yeah, back in the day, good old days.
Mhm. Such simple
Uh,
times.
He's probably forgotten it.
Yeah,
Yeah, probably. Yeah, she
yeah,
probably
she has
doesn't
a
even remember.
huge shrapnel scar on her face. Yeah, you head to the secondary. This is a small, like old, basically a retired commissariat where the Bluecoats used to hang out. It's an old building. There's sort of a current style of the interiors of official Duskwall buildings, and this is like a couple times back. Like if you've been to old like LDS church buildings, you're like, oh, this is the previous generation. So this is sort of that vibe. The building is a mess, indicative of old styles of architecture and design. You brought inside, there's some like bare looking gas lamps. So there's no electroplasmic light here except out on the street. Grace lets you in, and it is her, and she brings you in, her and one other inspector. She brings you in, and you're brought into a pretty dark room, sitting at a table. This looks like probably an interrogation room, and the man who greets you across the table is Silas Ward, the chief inspector, who is about 26, 27 years old. He nods at all of you, and says, "We should get down to business. What has Grace told you about?"
You have a witness.
That's true. Yes. He's in the other room for a moment. He's getting something to eat. He's a bit vulnerable. But he'll meet with you momentarily. My name's Silas Ward. For more than 10 years, we've been following the trail of a group of sex traffickers. In city folklore, they've been referred to as the Silence, though we've never known their true name. But now we are closer than ever. We believe that the organization that calls itself the Collective contains the Silence, or an organization that might be the source of the rumors of the group called the Silence. I believe that you might be interested in helping us with this. It is a great divulgence of intelligence to tell you that we know about this. But you, Mr. Borden, and I had a meeting sometime last year. I was impressed by you in that conversation. You strike me as an honest man.
Do I?
Yes.
That's not normally how I strike people. Usually it involves something else.
I remember that as well. If I remember correctly, the bluecoats who interrogated you after I left were not so kind with you, and you did not give up easily. I admire that. And I've admired the matches that I've seen of you in the Mudfire Crown.
What leads you to suspect we'd be interested in helping you?
There are several reasons. We've been aware of the activities of your chemist, Officer Basran. And through a connection with his former captain, we learned that he has a relative who disappeared in Duskwall some years ago. Bit of a tenuous connection. I have no idea if it's accurate. But he has a motive.
Why are the inspectors coming to a group of Nedwalls to help with their business?
We are not like the Bluecoats, Mr. Lomond. We are... we understand what the spirit of the law is versus its letter, and understand that in order to find those who are truly creating injustice, that one must employ all the methods available. We have no concern of working or partnering with those who would be willing to cooperate. And we can recompense you.
What do you need from us?
Let me bring in my friend. The doors opened up, and another two inspectors come in with a young boy of about 11 years old. He's red-haired, and you see he has a cast on his right hand. This is a boy who Bram and Aldo and Hix, I believe, have all seen in visions because your visions were shared with Aldo's visions were shared with Hix. Varric, did you ever see this? I don't think you saw this particular vision. Is that correct?
I don't think so. I only got the
I don't think so.
flashes, like the initial flashes of the
Yeah.
gate.
Yeah. This is our friend Milo Lemire. We picked him up a few weeks ago. He was with several other children who were somewhat surprisingly under the care of several dogs. We've brought him into custody. Several of the other children, having less information, were returned to their families. Milo does not have a family, but worked for some time for the man named Casimir.
Worked?
Yes. Milo, would you tell us a bit about your experience? Milo looks up at all of you. Yeah, they hire us. They don't let anyone under 14 do it. They give you little jobs. Gotta watch people. Gotta make sure the flowers are set. And yeah, you can't tell anybody about the girls.
What girls?
They're girls that they bring in different places. Some of them they move back and forth. Some of them you see them once and then they're gone. But yeah, they pay you good, and they keep an eye on you through other kids. And if another kid is telling anybody something they shouldn't know, you get paid to tell them about it, and if you do something wrong, they hurt you. I did it for a little while. They also pay you to find pretty girls in Char Hollow and Coleridge.
Well, rather than like embarking into a Law and Order SVU episode, suffice it to say, Bram will ask a string of questions about Casimir, including things like schedule, modes of transport, place of residence, every single place the boy worked. It would like a study role be good enough to represent that line of questioning?
Yeah, go ahead. I think that's legit.
I'll aid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, I am not having a good night. That's a 4.
Yeah, so you're able to get in a few questions. The boy talks about a boat that they have, an electroplasmic boat, very fast, that they use sometimes. And he talks about, he says that Casimir has mentioned the tunnel at some points. Just referred to something as the tunnel and using the tunnel. He's not able to say much more before Silas thanks Milo and says, "We've got more food for you, Milo. We may ask you some more questions at another time if that's all
Just
right."
one more, if I may, before you go, Milo.
Silas
you seen-
looks at Milo and nods at him and asks him with his eyes if he's allowed to ask a question. And Milo nods.
Have you ever seen a man? He wears a bit of makeup, eyeshadow, dark eyes, muddy, haunted expression. The tiniest bit
Basil.
of a
Basil.
Do you have another name for him? Last name?
They don't tell us any names. I just heard them say Basil once.
Very good. Do you know where he stays?
He looks at Silas. He says, "I don't know exactly. I told," and Silas sort of stops him and says, "Milo has told us about an operation that is forthcoming. The Silence, or whatever this group is called, is planning to move some portion of their inventory on a single evening under the guise of a large party at the Queensdown Manor for the Feast of Impenetrable Darkness. We believe that you could be of help preventing this from happening.
I think it's fair to say we'll help you. I'll just hope that you can help us.
You, I believe, mentioned compensation.
Grace sort of looks at you and chuckles a little bit at the beard. Silas does not chuckle.
Sort of tugs on it, just to readjust it.
Silas looks at you and says, I know that for you, Mr. Borden, and perhaps for your chemist, there is some pathos that moves you. It is not revenge that moves me, not empathy derived from any personal tragedy. My family has suffered no violence. I haven't lost a lover to the underworld. I don't need guilt or money to drive me to do what is right. I've known since a young age that if I do not act for what is true, then I am complicit in evil, and it is the same for every one of you. However, I do not expect our aims to align in this. We will pay you. But if you do not trust that I'm a man of my word, and that the inspectors are dedicated to the true welfare of this city and its people, then the fabled brilliance and observational powers of Hix Templeton are much less than I thought.
Yeah, all right.
I'll just let him just flatter me. I'll take that.
Okay. Yeah, and with that, Silas leaves. He doesn't give you a specific number on on the price. Yeah.
Great. So it feels like that's our next score. Probably.
I think it likely is.
We are going to feast.
Another party.
There'll be another 5 sessions for this party.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Are there any other? So Grace probably leads you out. Are there any other questions that you ask of her, or that you discuss with the inspectors?
I think we would just get all relevant details. It sounds
Yeah.
like they're going to feed us the info about what they know, where they're moving to and or from, how.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Those details are communicated, and you're going to be kept in continual contact with the inspectors. So yeah, they move on. Yeah. So we may not have time for much else. Are there any pressing things that people would want to gather in a final scene or two? I was curious, Varric, if what you and I discussed earlier might happen, but that might not be the case.
It.
So make sure you have a window for anything you want to do.
Nothing needs.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Just.
Great.
Tease me.
No, they're not teasing anything. No.
Sorry, I bought tickets to the Varric show tonight. I'm saying.
As we're sort of gathering back together a bit, before the girl gets back with the rest of the group, I would like to take the others aside and just say, I think it's clear that things have changed a bit with Miss Duval Kyrfell. And I think that we need to accept that working with her has got to be on her terms. And if her terms are that we respect the difference between her names and that we accept that she will be who she will be, then we need to follow through with that.
This is her reality. Whatever she experienced in the Lost District, clearly it's had an effect on her. And I don't think us badgering her about what she remembers and who she is going to do her any good.
Not going to do us any good if she can't remember who we are in the middle of a school.
No, but I think we can trust her. She can keep a clear mind when the situation requires it. We saw that in the chase.
This kind of felt mean.
Yeah, so am I. And I'll glare at Varric.
Fair point.
All right. Speaking of, this doesn't have to have, this prompt doesn't have an answer, but I'm curious if anything, what Kyathel experiences on her own when everyone has left at the Yellow Parrot.
Yeah, I mean, I think she spends the rest of the working day greeting patrons, you know, playing host. With a bartender gone, perhaps she slips into that role and does so well. And then that night, she goes up to her room, and I think she'll go ahead and open the top drawer of her dresser, take out a scarf that's been folded around the mirror, and unwrap the mirror and look into it and say, "Byron, are you there?"
Kyathel.
"Byron, we're doing it. We're going to save the children you care so fucking much about."
Good. I can help you.
How? Tell me how you can help me.
Well, I can only do so much from in here, but I have some power to command ghosts.
Good. That'll be useful.
I'm sorry if what you saw is not what you wanted to see.
You would want to see that.
I don't know. I think it frightens all of us to see the truth.
And I think with that, you know, she sees Lyran, of course, in the mirror, and she also sees her own face. She'll look at herself in the eye and quickly wrap Lyran back up in a scarf and shove him away and crawl into bed and cry herself to sleep.
Oof. The blizzard continues to rage outside as everyone is heading home, and we feel the low heartbeat of this work beginning. And that is where we'll end our session for tonight. Woo! All right, that was wild, everybody. Holy crap.
That was fun.
Well, yeah, well played all. Wow, holy moly, what a roller coaster. So we will be back next week. We want to announce again that the final stream of Animon Stories will not be on Friday as it's been previously, but will be this Thursday. So those of you who are overeager have been rewarded. So, well, not overeager. Those of you who are eager have been rewarded. Have it a day early.
Exact
So
right amount.
yeah, we're very excited. Yeah, we're excited for that. Yeah, please, continue checking out our stuff. Reach out to us with anything you're thinking about. We would love to hear from you. We're very excited to be showing this story and excited to be bringing this season of the Contraband to a close and somewhere in the next 3 to 4 sessions. So it's gonna be wild. But thank you all so much for everything this evening, and we will see you next week.
I'm sorry, I'm slow on the fade out. Everyone just chill.
It's okay. Goodbye.
Goodbye, slow motion.